Hey, you guys. So I wanted to talk about Titan season 3. Um, in my honest opinion, Titan season 3 was a little bit of a disappointment. I'm gonna be honest. I love the show overall, but season 3, I really had high hopes for, and I think that's where maybe I failed because I really wanted it to do great, and I really, just from some of the spoilers and little rumors we had heard about the show, I just assumed that things would go really well, and I was really excited for what was to come. Unfortunately, I was really disappointed. Like, if I'm just gonna discuss some of the things that I, wasn't too happy about, one of those things being Jason Todd's character. It's actually, I'm not familiar with his character all that much, but I am a huge fan. Like, just going in not really knowing much about his character, I'm still a big fan of his character, despite what they've, put his character through. I just feel like he is, he's a star player in the show, in my opinion. And he's always gotten the short end of the stick. Like, they pretty much babied him, which I thought was really weird, seeing as how Raven and Beast Boy are not experienced in like combat and things of that nature, yet they were always on the field, where somebody like Jason Todd, who was trained by Batman, like, was literally benched every damn season. And I get his frustration. Not enough to kill someone, but I do get his frustration as to why he felt like so much resentment towards the team, and like why he wanted to just do his own thing. I get that point. And also, I feel like there was a lot of manipulation going on as far as Scarecrow and just what he was doing to Jason. I feel like you can't put all the blame. Like, if you just think about the overall layout of his storyline, like, I just feel like all of this was just he was going to crash and burn regardless. Like, there was no saving this man. Like, he had no chance, honestly. And it's really I don't know, I just didn't like that, and I don't know what they're going to do for his character now, seeing as how the Titans are headed to San Francisco, I believe. So I don't know what they're going to do with his character now, but I do hope they find a way to give his character a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? Some type of redemption, or because I feel like even though he did come in and help a little bit, he chose not to take the credit for anything. He was never there, even though some of the Titans did see him there, which is odd for him to say, but still, I guess that was their way of saying, like, he's not going to get any credit for that, and the team are pretty much still, they don't like him or whatever, which I understand. He did some horrible things, some really horrible things, and I'm really unsure. That was another part. I was really unsure if he was, like, he seemed like he was out of it, so I wasn't sure if it was him, if it was his self, like if he was fully conscious and aware of what he was doing, or if it was like a manipulation type of thing, because it seems at first that's what I thought was happening. Like, Scarecrow was kind of like manipulating his mind of some sort. That's what I thought, and that's what it seemed like with the Lazarus pit. Like, I thought that's what was going on, but then at some moments it made it seem like he did it knowingly, and he was very much okay with his decisions. I don't know. It was kind of confusing because they didn't really explain it, because the Lazarus pit showed that he was being manipulated in a way, and that Scarecrow had full control over him. But then he say things that make it seem like he has full control, and yeah, so now it was just, and that's really my biggest critique of the show is just like, you know, how they went about his character. Like, I just think it was like, I don't know, it was weird how they went about his character. I didn't like that, but hopefully they can fix that. Moving on to, I'm gonna go with Starfire and Blackfire. Their storyline, in my opinion, I just feel like, you know, I really love both characters, and I'm going to be completely honest, I was really hoping they were going to go about the same sort of kind of storyline that Teen Titans did on Cartoon Network. I really love that storyline, and I really thought that that's what they were going to do. They didn't. They went a different route, and that's okay, you know. I was still here for it, and I was really trying to tune in and get an understanding of what was actually happening, because I was kind of confused with that as well. I wasn't really sure what was going on, how did we get to certain points that we got to, and, you know, and now it's just like, well, what are the characters going to do? You know, you just got them there now. Like, Blackfire's, she's in Gotham. What's happening now, you know? What's going to happen with her? She's going to stay in Gotham until she can leave. You know, that's just a waste of a character, I feel. You did nothing with her character, honestly. She was just there. She was just like a little sidekick to Starfire, which just felt, you know, useless. It didn't have a, and then she got powers. She got her powers back, only to not really do anything with them, you know? Nothing. Like, she didn't do anything with them. And I get it. Maybe there's a budget or something, and they can't really display a lot of powers all the time, and they can't have too many epic battles when it comes to the supernatural side of things. But I just felt like, you know, if you can't afford to do it, then don't do it. Just don't even use the characters so quickly. Get a build-up of things, maybe one or two characters, you know, things you can play around with, you know. But those were a lot of characters that you have with supernatural abilities, and they're not even using them much, you know. They're pretty much not even using them. I mean, Beast Boy Beast Boy doesn't even use his powers really. Like, he turns into a tiger, I think a snake once, and it took like the whole season for us to build up for him to turn into a bat. You know, I don't know. And it was just like, they wanted to make it like this epic thing, and it wasn't epic. He turned into a bat, and it was amongst other bats. Like, he wasn't even a solo bat. It was just amongst other bats, you know. So it just was really like, he didn't do anything turning into a bat, you know. The other bats are pretty much the ones that did all the work. He was just flying around, you know. So I don't know. I really love this show, and I know it seems like I don't, but I do. I really love this show, and I feel like it has so much potential, and there's so many characters I would love to see, you know, hit the small screen, but I just don't know. I feel like I'd rather them not even do that. I feel like they have right now, this is what I will say, Season 4 has a potential comeback. Season 4 could be a comeback season. And I'm going to tell you why. Because they have gotten rid of a lot of characters. And I feel like the main characters are still around. I feel like they should take this opportunity and focus on storylines revolving around those characters that are traveling. Not any other characters, no side characters. Maybe let's focus on those characters, building up their powers, building up the team, you know, really getting a good idea of who they are and what they want to do, you know, because right now they're all over the place, you know, and they're always off to adventure the world solo, and it's just like they're not even Teen Titans. They're not a team at all. You know, that they are sometimes towards the final battles, but for the most part, they're always never around each other, you know. So that's another thing they just need to work on, and they could, now that they're going on this little road trip. I would even like to see, you know, what happens along this road trip. Maybe this is an opportunity for some new training to happen with the new Robin. I can't think of his name off the top. I'm not really familiar with all the Robins because I'm not a huge DC guy. I'm not, but I do love Titans a lot, and this is a learning experience for me. Like, getting to know these characters is not something I'm not here to talk about, what I already know. I'm here to talk about what I want to know, what I'm willing to learn. I'm so intrigued by their characters, and I'm very interested in seeing what's going to happen next. Some of the characters I do already know about from just some of the animated series that they've done. Some I've even done a little research on. But overall, I would just really like to see a little more character development. It's happened somewhat, but not a lot. And they've already gotten approved for the season 4. So with that being said, I just feel like, they obviously have enough viewings to keep the show going. I feel like they should take that and just, do something great. Like, really, season 4, it could be the last season if they don't get this shit together, and I would really hate to see that because, like I said, the show has so much potential to go on for many more seasons because there's so many more characters to really break down and develop and really get to know. And I would really hope that that's what happens. Some characters I would really love to see would be Aqualad and Cyborg. And what was the twins? I can't think of their name off the top, but some Minus or something like that. I can't remember their names, but you guys know what I'm talking about. The really fast twins. I love them. They are like, I would love to see how they're gonna bring them in. That would be dope to see, like, them bring the twins in. I just can only imagine how they're gonna introduce them, and that could be like the spark that they need for the show. Some little, some little fun. And I feel like they're super powered twins with some humor, and I would really like to see that. Maybe it'll help the show a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, but honestly, I just I really want to see the show do good, and yeah, I think that's about it. That's all I really wanted to talk about. I really just wanted to get I really just wanted to discuss, like, what did you guys think about the show, and what are you hoping for towards the future of the show? Because, like I said, it has so much potential. There's so many characters I can't wait to see come to life. And I want to see what they're going to do with the characters. It's already been some big changes that at first I was kind of like, it's not the norm, it's not what I'm used to, but I know how things are sometimes when you're creating live actions. Sometimes you just have to take things a different way because you don't want to repeat the same storylines and things like that. And I get that, but I feel like some things can still just stay the same. Some things can still stay the same, and you can work around those things. And I also understand diversity, but not to the point where you have to completely change the character's personality. That's where it kind of just, you lose me there. And I'm not going to really get into all that, but that is just, sometimes I get lost in those things when you change the personality. That's what we kind of fell in love with the character. So hopefully they rearrange some things. Raven, I actually want to talk about Raven for a second before I end. Raven actually, this was the best version of her, in my opinion. Out of all the seasons, this was my best version of her, even though she wasn't there a lot. It just seemed like she had more control of her power. She was more aware of what she was doing. She didn't seem so, and when I mentioned, the whole character change, when I first saw Raven, she just seemed so somewhat bubbly a little bit, and I just thought that was quite odd for her character. I just was like, just didn't represent what, I mean, even though she herself was a demonic entity, which I was okay with. I thought that was pretty clever because that is reality. That's kind of what she is. It was a little possessive, but I still understood, like, if this is live action, this is the real world, then technically that's exactly what's happening. You know, she's possessed. You know, she has a demon inside of her. You know, I get that. But her character, her personality, the first 2 seasons were just like, she's just so jolly. And I'm not saying I want her to just be this depressed bitch, but, you know, it was just odd because, you know, that just wasn't the version of her I was used to. Now, maybe in the comics it was different, and that she isn't all just like, you know, serious all the time and things of that nature. But, you know, it was different. I wasn't used to that version of her, and it just took a little bit to really just like her character. But this season, I really enjoyed it. She just seemed more serious and grounded and focused on the mission and like what she needed to get done, and I love that. And then just being more in control of her powers, somewhat to some degree. She did seem a lot more control. I really loved in the animated series the chanting. I feel like that was just it was a core part of her character to me. The chanting, it was just like a way of her gaining control, which I thought they were eventually going to find some way of telling her, like, this is going to help you control your powers and things like that. But, you know, that never happened, and I don't know why. I feel like it doesn't take much to do that, but they didn't, and that's okay too. You know, they just want to go a completely different route. Cool. But I would have liked to see that. You know, it was something else I loved about the character, and it's unfortunate that they didn't go that route. But anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about, you guys. I've been going on this whole time. I am excited for the next season. I really can't wait for it to come out and for us to get some information about it. Until then, maybe I will start discussing other shows that I'm currently watching, and